When somebody tells me to do a good job at something, I always think of a way to do it faster than anyone else. I honestly don't know much about network marketing, and in just a few weeks, I have trained myself to be able to do this. I started using these products for myself to help with some injuries, aches, and pains, and it jump-started something completely new within me. I now wake up at 6 a.m. every day. I exercise, which is something I never did before. I eat healthy, and I've stuck to this program. And on Monday, I'm starting a 30-day challenge. I love these products, and I believe in them, and I know that they can help anybody.
Welcome to the What's Sizzling podcast with Big Bacon, featuring Matthew James, Nick Schultz, John Roy, and your host, Big Bacon, Brad Hollister.
Flying drop kick, suplex, mare, stomping on the throat, pulling on the hair. Big gift, all scissors, back break the knee, down for the count, and it's a 1, 2, 3. Wrestling tonight. Everything is bigger than life. Wrestling tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of What's This with Big Bacon. Oh, el tocino grande for Espanol. And it's Bacon, not your boy Toy, and John Roy here today, holding it down for the crew. We want to welcome you all you lovely listeners, all you sexy people out there, all you cool mamma jammas, to the show. What's up, John?
It's a late night recording here tonight. I got the blue lights on for the listeners. You can picture it. I'm a very visual person.
It is a late night, and that's probably why I fucking rambled on the intro, but it is what it is. How you been, John? How's the editing life going? Very busy. Got a couple changes to make to Heat Wave. Getting ready for WrestleFest, and Six Flags. Go ride some roller coasters. Yeah, dude.
Tomorrow be a good time.
I don't know if I'm not booked, Terry. I got to figure that out. I got to see what's going on. I got to see if maybe I just show up and just start cracking skulls.
There you
go. See.
It'll be a good time.
This week, we talked last week how last week was a ridiculous news cycle week for the professional wrestling world with the CM Punk, Daniel Bryan rumors running astray. And we kind of, I don't even know if we mentioned it, but I've definitely talked with Nick about this. When Vince kind of threw out one of the biggest flexes of all time, right? When talking about AEW, it was brought up to him and he said, I don't view AEW as competition. And they talked about how they're signing a lot of the ex-WWE talent, and he was just like, maybe I should give him some more talent. And I was like, that was kind of ballsy thing to say. And then days later, he releases Bray Wyatt. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, nobody really saw it coming too, but he wasn't on TV.
Well, so
on WrestleMania.
Literally what came out today was that he has an undisclosed injury. And he just got cleared to come back. And then 2 days after he got cleared to come back, he got released.
See, I don't read the dirt sheets.
I don't know. It just popped up in my Twitter timeline. But, dude, what, first of all.
This is why we need Nick.
The Braun Strowman thing, right? I kind of understood that. In the sense of he reached his ceiling. You know what I mean? Like, what else are you going to do with Braun Strowman? If you're not going to make him the world champion, you can't have a guy that size with that presence be an upper mid-carder. It's just not going to work. You know what I mean? It's either he's in the world title contention or he's a world champion, and I don't think he's that level of a draw, nationally, to be that. So I understood that situation. But Bray Wyatt, it just seems like every time they hand him chicken shit, he would turn into chicken salad. So this one was a lot more confusing for me, at least, than any other recent release.
And what are they going to do with Alexa Bliss? Just, here you go.
Oh, she's the feed now.
That's it.
Dude, it happens, man. And that too. A lot of people are blaming her. How the fuck is it her fault? She doesn't decide who keeps.
That's like a Michael Jackson type transition, though. Complete 180.
Yeah, it's just. They just gave her a gimmick, dude. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Has that anything like that ever been done before? Close, at all? Because it's not like the fake Razor Ramon was chilling with Razor Ramon. before.
Sin Cara.
Yeah. Sin Cara probably be the closest one where they just gave a gimmick and it kind of carried over. But
I mean, it was a mask, but you could tell it was a different person. I mean, one Sin Cara was covered in like prison tattoos, and the other one was just
dude, Second Sin Cara is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've heard of Second Sin Cara getting into 2 fights. Motherfuckers 2-0 from all the rumors.
3. Yeah.
Dude, like I heard he fucked up Simon Gotch and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Second Sin Cara was a badass motherfucker. Yeah, dude. It was like something over like a protein shake. Yeah, I forgot. What was his old gimmick before that?
Mystic.
Where he rode out on the bicycle. No, but he rode out on the bicycle.
Yeah, they were the cousins.
Yeah, dude. It was fucking
Epico and Primo and Epico?
No. That's Carlito. Come on, bro. Fuck, I wish I remembered it because I like the gimmick. Hunico.
Thank you, Lewis Semity of the Civil Squad.
Yeah. Badass, dude. Badass. He could throw down. But Bray Wyatt, dude, going back to him, it's just how many times did he change up completely? Like the whole Husky Harris did not work. I thought that was the lamest catchphrase maybe in wrestling history. And especially now that I know how great his wrestling mind is, I can't believe he came up. It was like Army tank with a Ferrari engine. I'm like, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. It's not good. It is not good. And especially that, like I said, now that you know how creative and what a genius he is, I can't believe that came out of his head. That's terrible. But then he reinvents himself in NXT, and this is the early days of NXT. And guys like him are why NXT is where it's at today, because when it was just on Hulu, I used to watch that religiously. And it was guys like Wyatt. It was guys like Neville was getting big at the time. Big E, when Big E first started out. It was like that crop that I really like got into when I got into NXT. And dude, that's my favorite version of Bray Wyatt is the
Husky Harris.
No, yeah, Ferrari engine. The Bayou backwoods cult leader type deal. Like to me, that's the coolest one. The Fiend visually does some cool things, but like there was a sense of realism with like, and it's funny because I'm about to mention True Blood, which is there's no realism at all, but they made it seem like vampires could be a real thing. Like they did it in a way where it was just like, that's what, like the superhero movies. I like the ones that are like Iron Man. I like the ones Captain America. Yeah, that's not a realistic story, but it's in a real world and they do it in a way that it like could make sense that could happen. You know what I mean? So I like that with the Bray Wyatt gimmick because it was like, I can imagine this. I can imagine these weirdos living here.
So you're afraid of Sister Abigail?
No, but like that's like a metaphorical thing. You know what I'm saying? But like when he went to the Fiend, it became such a like Undertaker. When I was a kid, especially, I thought Undertaker was so corny because I'm like, there's no dude that can make lightning come out of a ceiling.
Well, you know when Bray Wyatt died was when they did the fucking maggots project the ring projection. I
say it all the time. If they did it once, maybe twice, it would have worked. They overkilled it because the first time everyone was like, what the fuck was that, right? The second time, they're like, whoa, he's doing it again. And the third time, it's audible laughter throughout the whole crowd. I don't know. I mean, they went one too far.
See, I think they went 3 too far, but that's me.
Oh, you could have did one. One would have been kind of cool. But that would be more for the Fiend than it would be for that.
Maybe because I'm a video guy. I'm like, that's a nice projector.
Dude, like I said, when I was a little kid, it was really Undertaker when he would make the lightning come out. I'm like, there's a roof. Like, how is – because when you're a kid, you have a sense of, like, you think it's legit, right? So then when a guy like Undertaker comes out and makes lightning come out of a roof, not out of the sky, it's not like they were in an open arena. And I'm like, that can't happen.
Like good old Florida roof lightning.
Yeah, I was like, how does this guy put a cloud in there? How did that work? So, and too, I would say that, like, when I realized wrestling was a show was when they would say with Kane, like they would say his weight. And I would think like weighing in as an amateur wrestler, I'm like, there's no way Kane was standing in a weigh-in line, dude. I'm like, that dude wouldn't weigh in. Like, he sets things on fire. Do you think he really just stepped on a scale before? Oh, hey, guys, I know that I'm going to try to murder someone in there today. But just so you know, I weigh 323 pounds. Just putting that out there.
Well, maybe they had a scale right by the entrance, and you had to step over it.
Who's going to – if you're a kid and you think it's real, who's telling Cade, hey, you got to step on the scale?
The doctor's reaching up, adjusting it.
Doing the height thing. Pushing it down like, oh, you got taller over the summer. It's things like that, I think, that lose it. So when Bray Wyatt was that backwoods southern gentleman but cult leader, like, dude, that was dope.
Yeah, it was Cape Fear.
Exactly. Yeah, it was awesome. And then he started recruiting the Wyatt family, and that was like, to me, that was my favorite version of Bray, like the true blood Louisiana Cape Fear type psychopath. But then he did the Matt Hardy team, and that was like, at the time, I thought it was a step down because I thought he was on such a roll, but then they fucking killed it together. They did awesome together. And it's not a knock on Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's obviously a fucking legend, dude. First ballot Hall of Famer. But I thought where Bray Wyatt was going was like world title level, and then they put him for the tag team titles. So that's what I mean when I say step down. But they killed it. They were awesome together. They did the Hardy compound and all that. Like, that was great. And then he comes in with the Fiend, and at first he's doing these Blues Clues type videos, and you're like, what are they doing with Bray Wyatt? And then it becomes this whole dark thing. Like, everything they gave him, like, he figured it out. I don't understand this release.
That's all Buddy Costa needed to do when you think about it.
Yeah.
Be the Fiend.
Good about the Fiend.
Maybe he was. Haven't seen Buddy Costa.
That is true. Instead of hugs, giving out drugs. I'm just kidding.
Speaking of drugs, now.
Yeah, speaking of drugs, who's on them? that they would cut Bray Wyatt, dude. I can't believe it. Like I said, there's many releases that have been like, that's shocking, but I could see where they're coming from. You got to think Bray Wyatt's worth every penny. He sells merchandise. He's a merch pusher.
Merch seller.
How does that?
I mean, they had that belt for him with the Tom Savini belt. How much was that going for?
I think
900, something ridiculous.
I think it was over $1,000.
Yeah.
But now, of course, anytime someone's going to get released, the instant talks happen. Where are they going to go? And I hate having these conversations because I say it all the time. No one looks at this for what it is. It's a job. I know it's a like a very what's the word I'm looking for? Like high profile job, and it seems like luxurious at times. But at the end of the day, it's fucking work. These people are waking up, going to work. And if I ever quit the school I work at, or I get fired, or they do budget cuts, are other teachers going to be like, ooh, I want Dylan to work for this place? Or not even other teachers. Are students going to be online? Oh, I want him to come here. I want him to. No, because it's a job. If someone gets fired from Price Right, or that's not a national chain, if someone gets fired from Big Y, you don't see Stop and Shop fans being like, oh, they're coming over here. That's where the money's at. Like, oh, I was
Stop and shop.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't see people like, oh, he was working produce at Big Y, but he should have been a cashier the whole time. Like,
this store is awesome.
so I do not like these conversations. I'm just putting that out there for everyone. So if I either sound cynical or I sound not as enthused, that is why. But my whole thing with this is
I'm just thinking, I went out to eat one time and they had the Beyond steak, and it was one of those plant things, and I was like, is this the steak where everyone stands around and tenderizes it by patting on it?
So this is one of those conversations I don't love, but obviously, everyone's talking AEW. Everyone's talking Bray Wyatt. What do you think, John?
I think he's going to take a little more time off.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that's why he
Do you think that would
wasn't
be
on TV for a little bit. I think they gave him his thing. I think he could probably get some of his life in order, and then probably AEW. The only ones that would dish out the money.
Yeah. That's where you think the landing spot is?
I think so.
Well, I think his wife got released a couple months ago. He's married to JoJo.
To JoJo, yeah.
And they have a kid together. And I think she got released like quietly a couple months ago. So I don't know if even that factors in at all. You know what I mean? But obviously AEW is the talk of the town. Everyone thinks that that's where it's going to be, especially with all these big signings they have on the table. So I could see it, definitely. I'm not ruling it out at all. I just don't think that's what it's going to be. I don't know why. I think it's because, especially if you're bringing in Daniel Bryan.
Where's his father working right now?
I have no idea. But you're bringing in Daniel Bryan, you're bringing in CM Punk, you're bringing in all these guys. Does it start becoming watered down? Does it start becoming diluted? You know what I mean? At what point do people are like, all right, we're sick of all these debuts? Yeah, exactly.
You're already seeing stuff go. You're seeing these guys that aren't on TV, and now they're working. They're back on the indie scene.
Yeah, and straight up. That's one thing that AEW is actually pretty fucking awesome about. I will admit that. Like the fact that, oh hey, we don't really have much for you on TV. If you want, you can work some indie dates. Like that's awesome.
And then you have this kind of whole open world where it's like WWE is its own thing, but now you have these other companies acknowledging each other.
Yeah.
You saw Dixie Carter made an appearance on ROH TV the other night for the women's division. She was just sent them a congratulations video, but it was still funny just seeing like everything's merged, Impact's on AEW, vice versa.
I don't know, one of these terrible fan pages that I'm on, it was like, talk about the Forbidden Door, and I'm like, she still doesn't own that? Like she's still own Impact, right? She's been done for them for like a while now.
Yeah, but it's just
no, I know, but I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, it's not like she is involved with another company currently. But yeah, so AEW's obviously, but I think with Bray, Japan would be the move. Even though they do have that relationship with AEW, but like Japan is known for liking those big, thick dudes. And Bray's a big, thick motherfucker. And he has that cool like aura and entrance. And like I think Japan is the move for him, personally. Or I think Bray Wyatt should just leave pro wrestling and use his creative mind and become the biggest horror movie star the world has ever seen. Because all these horror movie characters, you're into, I mean, Freddy Krueger might be the exception to the rule because Robert Englund is so distinctly Freddy Krueger. But Jason, Michael Myers, you kind of put anyone in there, right?
Yeah, but WWE has their shit so sunk in, they're probably be like, yeah, nothing resembling anything like it can be used anywhere.
But he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. Because I'm not saying The Fiend does all these movies. I'm saying he is a slasher in all these different movies. I think he would be great. I think he would do well with it. I just think that, and like his promos are so different. When he talks, my favorite promos are, we're about to get into a fight promo. Like I want my promos to sound like UFC type promos, right? Bray Wyatt sounded like a movie star when he would talk. Like he took you on a ride with him, right? It wasn't where it was just aggressive. I want to fucking smash. Like, no, it was a monologue. And so I think acting is the move for him. Where a lot of wrestlers have failed in the acting realm, we've had some really big successes, and I think Bray may be that next big success.
We've had a lot of acting. I think that is that our transition? We've had a lot of acting.
I mean, we've had a lot of acting and
a lot of bad acting.
And you want to talk about some good acting? John Cena, and this might be a bold claim, John Cena has not had a bad movie yet. John Cena has not. I have not seen the Suicide Squad.
They have a hostage. It's my wife.
Are you talking about the Marine?
Yeah.
You don't say bad words about the Marine.
That whole string of awful movies. The Marine, 12 Rounds, they're all the same.
Oh, yeah,
They have my wife.
Those weren't Cena. Cena, the first Marine, let's go. First Marine was legit. After that, steep decline.
12 Rounds. I'm
Marine
not talking about
1, up here, A level.
No, 12 Rounds wasn't. See, that's what I'm saying. 12 Rounds wasn't the Marine. It was a whole different movie with Cena.
Oh, you're talking about 12 Rounds. Okay, yeah 12 Rounds did kind of stink. But I'm talking about like
too. There was another one. I swear that he was just like, they have my wife. I have to get her
I'm
back.
talking comedy Cena. Okay, not 2000. You're going 10 years in the past. I'm talking since like Trainwreck, where he started doing movie appearances. Only home runs. Cock Blockers was fucking hilarious. Ferdinand will bring a tear to your goddamn eye. Right? These are all great movies. And John Cena, I think, is like going to be the next Rock. He's going to be the next Rock. How crazy is that?
I have a list in front of me of the top 50 appearances by wrestlers in the movies. And The Rock happens to start this list off with his role in Snitch for some reason. Weird.
Snitch. What is Snitch?
Snitch. It's probably not the best list to go off. Snitch isn't really a successful film.
All right, that's all we need to know about it.
Number 49, Brodus Clay, and No One Lives. And of course, that brings us right up to number 48. John Cena as a cartoon in Scooby-Doo's WrestleMania Mystery.
Oh, they can't count that. So, see, that's not fair.
See, I told you it was a bad list. Tyler Mane in X-Men. The Fabulous Freebirds were in Highlander. Sergeant Slaughter, G.I. Joe. Nathan Jones was in Troy. Here we go. Hulk Hogan, No Holds Barred.
Dookie. Yeah, Hogan might be the worst actor. He might be the worst. He's not good.
In a lot of movies.
And like, okay, so that's what I was talking about earlier, right? Like this is actually perfect because when I was saying like his promos were like loud yelling, I'm gonna get you, like it wasn't the way Bray Wyatt cuts promos. Bray Wyatt cuts promos like he is acting, where other people do promos like they're selling a fight, right? Where neither one's better than the other. But in the fight game or the promotion, like where you're trying to sell a fight, I like that one better. But when it comes to acting and being a good actor, you want to talk like a thespian. You know what I mean? And Bray Wyatt definitely has that. So that's why I could see him making the transition and fucking crushing it.
And then you have this quick appearance by some of the best wrestlers to go into acting. In a movie known as MacGruber, when you had Jericho, Kane, MVP, Mark Henry, Great Khali, and The Big Show, all in the beginning of the movie.
Great Khali is in 2 movies I know of, and I think he does great in both roles.
The Longest Yard.
One of them, yeah.
And then we have Tor Johnson. That's an old one. George Steele. Well, this list goes way back. Goldberg, Santa Slay. I think Goldberg did try to do his hand at movies.
Yeah, and he's another one. Like that's what
The Longest Yard.
That's what I mean. Where everyone's like, look at all these great, or look at all these wrestlers that became great actors. There's not many, and people talk about like there's a good amount. Like a lot of people say about going to, and even though I'm saying it right now about going to Hollywood, there's maybe 3 success stories.
Yeah, because this one here on the list was Santa's Sleigh, and I know you're not a horror movies guy. And I was a big horror movie buff at one point. So this one, Goldberg plays an evil version of Santa Claus who's out for revenge for one reason or another. And the start of the movie, do you know Fran Drescher, the nanny?
Nah.
Yeah, so he starts the movie off lighting her head on fire. And that's the setup for the movie. And it goes on from there. Terrible movie, but it's great.
You are absolutely correct. I'm not a horror movie guy, but I have seen Santa's Sleigh for 2 reasons. I obviously Goldberg's in it, and I'm a wrestling fan. But the other reason was one of my buddies, I forgot who it was, but they told me that like it's one of the worst movies of all time. And I was like, I gotta see this. It's a Christmas horror movie. I think Thanksgiving is 1,000 times better than Santa's Sleigh.
Yeah, I'll agree there.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
The next one up is Jesse Ventura in The Running Man. When I think Jesse Ventura, I think of Predator, but I don't think.
Oh, that would be much higher on the
because
list.
of Predator that I think of Jesse Ventura in Predator.
No, I bet you that's going to be way higher on the list.
And then Andre the Giant was in Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah, but see,
and Princess Bride. Kane, See No Evil.
See No Evil was pretty dope.
Yes, but that could be the thing too, because what if Bray Wyatt has that effect and he's in those 2 horror movies and then that's it?
Yeah, but again, if he's not, WWE films, unfortunately, in the Hollywood world has a not great stink, right? Though they're kind of looked at as like straight to DVD, shitty movies, right? If Bray Wyatt goes out and does his own thing, it doesn't have to be a WWE film now because he's not with WWE. So that's what I mean where I'm saying like he will get out of that stink.
That's how Hollywood kind of works though. So I mean it's tough. The Rock, the Scorpion King, the Big Show in The Water Boy, Captain Insano.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Which I believe he was still the Giant back then.
Yeah, dude. When that was when Big Show was just fucking looked like $1.5 trillion, and he was just ripping butts. Dude, he was a savage. He would come to the ring smoking a cigarette, and it's like your gimmick isn't like you don't look like a 5'5". Like when you look at Sandman, right? Even though Sandman's taller, he's like 6 feet. But you look at Sandman, that looks like a guy who should be ripping butts, crushing beers on the way to the ring. Not the Big Show. He's a giant. And he was just walking to the ring, smoking a butt.
And then we've got one of my favorite appearances, the Macho Man in Spider-Man.
Which, Tobey Maguire is not very politically correct towards it. He's like, nice outfit. Would your husband make it? Well, what if his husband did make it for him, you piece of shit, Tobey Maguire?
It was the early 2000s. That wasn't a thing yet.
Nah, fuck that. Tobey Maguire's a scumbag. I don't want him in the new Spider-Man.
Speaking of men with husbands, Batista and the Man with Iron Fists.
Why, he has a husband in that movie?
Oh, I don't know. I just had no other better transition. Rowdy Piper, Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Piper was actually, you know what? Instead of 3 successes, I'll give it 4, dude. Piper was in some good movies.
Another Batista, another Hogan, Rocky 3.
Thunder Lips, dude. And that was, I think that was before he was Hogan. That's what made him Hogan.
We've got Jerry Lawler in a handful of movies.
His biggest one would be Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon. We've got Andre the Giant, Princess Bride. Here we go. Hulk Hogan and Gremlins 2. I forget about that one.
Oh, yeah. He like shushed them in the theater, right?
The Rock and Southland Tales. Crazy movie. The Rock. Kevin Nash, The Punisher.
Yeah, he wasn't The Punisher.
Jesse Ventura, Predator, and then there's a picture of Schwarzenegger.
Well, look at him.
Naturally, Batista, The Rock, Batista. Number 1, Roddy Piper, They Live.
That's ridiculous.
That was a terrible list.
That was ridiculous. What do you think is the best role from a wrestler? Like, what do you think is your favorite wrestler in a movie? Not wrestling movie, but like wrestler in a movie.
The Rock in the beginning of the other guys.
He was pretty fucking awesome for that, wasn't he? There goes my hero.
You think what I'm thinking?
What? Aim for the bushes. Watch him as he goes. Yo, that part. Him and Samuel Jackson was so funny, dude. That was so good. I think Cena in Trainwreck was so funny. It was so funny where he was like the big bodybuilder, but like He's like, I'll find you on my Grinder app. Like, dude, he was so funny in that movie. Then we had Batista as Drax, I think, is 10 out of 10. Like that, he plays that character so funny. When they were like, where's Gamora? And then Tony Stark was like, who is Gamora? And then Batista just goes, why is Gamora?
And he's done with it.
I don't think so. He's doing the next one.
You sure?
But I think he's done after the next one.
After the next one?
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, he's probably going to die in the movie. Because there's no way they're just going to recast Drax.
CGI.
No, they're killing him off. If a guy already agrees to leave a movie series, you got to kill him off. How do you not cash in on that emotional heart tugging?
Comic books.
I know, but you're just going to replace him? It's a very distinct looking person.
Yeah, just get Brian Cage.
Dude, Batista's 6'5". Batista's humongous.
I'd take him down.
Double leg him real quick. Is there anyone else? Like I already said, Bray Wyatt. Is there anyone else we think in the wrestling scene today, other than Bray Wyatt, that could make the transition into movies?
Who else is a good talker right now? I think even Punk tried it and failed.
Yeah, Punk failed, and he's one that I thought would do well. Yeah, he's not a leading man. But I thought he would be well as like the scumbag at the bar.
It's a big role in Hollywood. They always need a scumbag at a bar.
You know, like a lot of movies have a scumbag at a bar. But I thought Punk would have crushed it with that.
Roman Reigns, maybe when he's done.
I mean, he looks like a movie star. He could just replace the fucking guy who plays.
His speaking is getting better.
Yeah, and he has great teeth now. Those are Hollywood teeth right there.
Not Samoan teeth.
No, dude. His last teeth.
His first teeth.
His original teeth. Not great. New teeth. 10 out of 10. Looks like Brian from Family Guy when he got the new teeth. Yeah, he would do well. He would do well. We have Eric Hunting in the live chat saying MJF. I think MJF would do well. He would be if anyone out there is a fan of Wedding Crashers, if you remember Bradley Cooper's role of Sack,
yeah,
I think he would be very like if they were to redo that movie, MJF might be the perfect casting. It's what Maryland does, crab cakes and football. So the way we're going to wrap this all up, the way we're going to put a bow on this whole movie talk, me and John were thinking, we're going to recast a movie with all wrestlers that we think could be potential movie stars, potential people that light up the silver screen. And we're kind of like throwing out movies, joking around which one should we recast. And I'm thinking the new Space Jam just came out. But let's recast the original Space Jam. And it's no longer a basketball movie. It is now a wrestling movie, and we're calling it Space Slam. Who is your Michael Jordan? Who is the main star in Space Slam? John Roy, what do you think?
My main star in Space Slam would have to be The Rock.
Gotta be The Rock, right?
Have to be.
If we're trying to do it with current WWE guys, I think we could get away with Cena, but it gotta be The Rock. So The Rock is going to be our Michael Jordan in Space Slam. Now, are you from I know we watched it in the squad together, but are you very familiar with Space Jam?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So who should be our Wayne Knight? Who should be Newman? I mean Paul Heyman, right?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yes.
So far, Space Slam might be better than Space Jam because we got Paul Heyman and The Rock with the Wayne Knight and Michael Jordan roles. Obviously, we're not recasting the Looney Tunes. We're not psychopaths. Looney Tunes stay the Looney Tunes. Who are we going to have as one of the talent being stolen? Actually, no. Before we get to the talent stolen, who's going to be our Bill Murray? Who's going to be like our comedy wrestler that comes down and saves the day?
Oh, all-time comedy wrestler?
Doesn't have to be all time.
I was going to say Santino.
Oh, Santino would be good. But we need a bigger star. Come on, we're swinging for the fences on this one.
Bullet?
I love Santino. But Bill Murray was older too. I mean, we could get a guy. We could get a guy who was, maybe retired, who would be like a fun part to come in with the backwards cap.
Fred Durst.
That's your boy.
It is.
Actually, he provided a lot of music for WWE, so maybe we do Fred Durst. No, let's get
You can play with the Looney Tunes.
Who would be a fun person? Oh, dude, Shawn Michaels. He's been in a couple movies. They're not great, but like, he's a zany guy. You can see him down there trying to be like, and very much like Bill Murray in that movie, trying to like hang on to youth. I feel like Shawn Michaels a lot of times hung on to youth. So, youth. Yeah. So I like Shawn Michaels in that Bill Murray role.
Trying to get this graphic open.
Now, who is the leader of the Moron Mountain? Who is the evil guy? We had Lewis in the chat saying Heyman would be good at that, and of course he would be good at that too, but I think we got to go with the big guns. I think we got to go Vinnie Mac. I think Vince McMahon got to be the Danny DeVito character, even though it would be a much more jacked version because Vince McMahon is a fucking animal. Did you see him doing leg presses the other day? He was leg pressing like 1,000 pounds. He's 70-something. He's 1,000 years old. He's like, I'm going to put a pound for every year my age and times it by 10. The guy's a psychopath. Love him. But to me, he has to be the main villain.
You know who we do need is a Larry Bird.
Ooh. The guy kind of go like walks around with that's going to be Triple H.
Yeah.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels are playing golf together. And that's how fucking Shawn Michaels gets into the tune world, right there.
So who would that make Charles Barkley?
Oh yeah. So now we're gonna go. So if Vince is the main leader of Moron Mountain, who are the 5 wrestlers we get talent stolen from? And by the way, instead of a 5-on-5 basketball match, it's gonna be a 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match.
Yeah.
Naturally. And then at the end, The Rock's gonna figure out that he has the abilities of the Tunes, and that's how he's gonna get the win. Maybe hit a people's elbow from like a mile away. You know what I mean? That'd be a cool finish.
Blow his finger up.
Oh, let's go! Elbow sticks out. Oh my god, dude! We got to pitch Space Slam to Hollywood. So we're gonna go the Charles Barkley. Okay, so
you get a solid 2 movies out of that.
Instead of just rebooking the actual cast, right? I say we just do something similar. They had one really, really big guy. They had a really small guy. Then they had 3 like pretty big dudes, right? So we're gonna go. Let's book the first huge guy first. The first large guy that gets their talent stolen from them. And let's say they get the talent stolen with something like a roll of wrist tape.
Are they going for talent?
Well, yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, if you want to take a big guy, I'd be a big, great Khali, but
yeah, naturally you want to say Khali, but remember, this isn't just like a basketball game, right? It's a wrestling match. Yeah, we have John's going Khali, Lewis in the chat is going Khali,
or Giant Gonzalez.
I would go Taker. I would go Taker.
For your big guy?
No, actually, no. I know Kali has acting experience, but so does Big Show. Big Show's kind of the big guy of this generation.
Okay, it's a big show.
Big Show would be our tall blue alien in
Solid
Space
pick.
Slam. So we got Big Show. The little guy, I think that's the most obvious one out of this whole team, right?
So little guy?
You got to be Mysterio.
I was thinking Hornswoggle.
Oh, no, dude. Got to be Mysterio. Hornswoggle was in the Leprechaun, right? The remake?
Yeah, but it was weird. It wasn't like the old Leprechauns, the guy was like, I'm a leprechaun. And the new ones, it was like a creature.
Yeah,
so it was like, I guess he was the leprechaun, but you like barely saw it. And if you did, it was like real quick. I'm like, oh, so he was just in a suit.
So yeah, give me Mysterio. That makes sense. Mysterio, Muggsy Bogues. Come on, dude. Let's go. So now let's go. One of these next three.
Mysterio Bogues.
Mysterio Bogues, dude. Let's go. So one of these next three, I think, have to be Cena. Right? It's kind of on the come up in the acting world. That would make sense. Do we give the other one to Batista? Because of Drax?
Let me see. Let me bring up a picture.
I mean, Batista kind of looked like the Monstars.
Monstars. Boom. What, the orange one?
No, the orange one is like the shorter, fat one. I would say that like Cena is the green one.
Yep.
And then the blue, or is it the purple one with the ponytail up top? Like that could be Batista.
Okay, so Batista's got the ponytail.
Yeah, because that was like a flashy looking guy. Batista got the flashy tattoos. I think that was like Larry Johnson's Monstar. So that's a good analogy. Now, who is the short, thick one?
The orange guy.
Big E?
Taz.
Don't even.
Not for nothing, Bacon, but it looks just like him.
The same colors, too. Hey, not for nothing. I deserve to be in Space Slam. I'll be the extreme guy. I'll be the ECW guy in that. No, we're going current guys. Fuck him. Or current guys that we could actually see in a movie. So, who should be the short, thicker one? Who's like a barrel-chested dude that's shorter in wrestling today?
Taz.
Mark Henry? I mean, he's not short, but compared to a lot of those guys, he's not taller than Big Show. But he's like thick, he's strong.
Taz.
Ooh, in the chat, we have Otis. Eric
Otis, yeah.
Otis out there. Otis might be pretty good in that role.
Bray Wyatt.
Ooh, there we go. Bray Wyatt, I think would be perfect. It would be Bray Wyatt or Mark Henry, in my estimation.
Boom.
And I think that one was Charles Barkley. Yeah. Dude, Space Slam is coming out very nice. Very nice. Are there any roles we're forgetting? Are there any roles we're forgetting in this Space Jam remake?
I think we got most of them. Let's see. Let's go over to Space Jam. We got Michael Jordan. We got Wayne Knight. We got Larry Bird. We got Bill Murray. We got Charles Barkley. Patrick Ewing.
Oh, no. So Patrick Ewing was, I believe, the green one. So he would be Cena. And then we would have the purple one be Larry Johnson. And then Muggsy Bogues, the red one, would be Rey Mysterio.
This movie's gone off the rails.
No, we got it. So, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the Michael Jordan, the main role of Space Slam. Co-starring Paul Heyman stepping in for Newman. Then we got Triple H and Shawn Michaels doing the Bill Murray, Larry Bird roles. As our main antagonist, we have Vince McMahon playing the role of the leader of Moron Mountain. Then we have, in the Charles Barkley short, thick role, still not fully decided. Get him off the screen right now. It is never going to be him. In the short, thick role, we either have Bray Wyatt or Mark Henry, which I think those would both be solid decisions. It's going to be a last minute. You know what? Let's go Mark Henry. Mark Henry's already been in movies. Bray Wyatt, I think, should do horror stuff. And Mark Henry, World's Strongest Man, you could sell that. Mark Henry. Then we're going to go with, in the Patrick Ewing, which I believe is the green one. That's going to be John Cena.
Yeah.
The Muggsy Bogues, the short red Monstar, is going to be Rey Mysterio. The purple Monstar is going to be one David Batista. And the Sean Bradley, tall, lanky, blue Monstar.
But Batista gets to keep his belly button tattoo.
Oh, dude, come on. You can't get that off him. And then the tall, big one is going to be the Big Show. Now, if that isn't a box office hit, I don't know what the fuck is.
We just made it. It's copyrighted.
Space Slam. Yep, TM. We just TM'd it. Can't take it away from us. So, yeah. What Sizzling kind of went Hollywood this week? It's the Sizzling Linings playbook, as you put it. But, yeah, I'm very confident with our Space Slam remake. You're going to end the podcast like this, John? You're going to do this to me?
I just wanted to play in the background.
Oh, well, no, dude. Just don't even play it. I hope we get pulled. For this video.
Beep.
Our audio
Beep.
listeners are like,
Beep.
what the fuck is going on right now? Yeah,
Taz.
he threw the Taz video
I
on.
just want Taz to walk out of himself behind Bacon. That's all.
Oh, my God, dude. That video was so bad. Well, you know what? This is how we'll end it. We'll end it on this story. So when I was coming back, we wanted to do like a cool entrance video where people wouldn't know it was me until it said Big Bacon on the screen, so we get that pop at once. I wanted people to be like, who is coming out right now? Like, I've never heard the song before. And just show pictures of like an arm lifting weight. You know what I mean? I was like, let's look for like some videos that we could think of. So we looked at the Taz one,
Yes.
and it's literally Taz, and then it's a Taz walking out of a Taz, and then a Taz walking out of that same Taz, and then the two Tazes meeting and becoming one Taz, and then it goes to Taz in his gear starting to walk out of a Taz. It's just like Taz in different outfits walking out of a Taz.
Taz on Taz action.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, that was what we're looking at them. You kept trying to get me to do the Taz walking out of a Taz. I was like, John, we're not doing that. That is a terrible idea. I'm not doing it. Fucking hilarious, but I'm not going to do it. But that was What's Sizzling this week. We went Hollywood. We became sellouts. But let's see. You know what? Just put the audio on. I don't care. We're going to end it with Taz walking out of Taz. Everybody enjoy their day. Oh my God, dude, that's so bad. Yeah, it's Gear Taz walking out of Leather Jacket Taz.
That's number 13 repeatedly.
Yeah. And another reason I was saying Taz, he was supposed to use one of my cousin's songs as his theme, and they said no. So fuck him.
He should get into acting.
Yeah,
not
he's
for
been
nothing,
acting.
Bacon.
No, not for nothing. He's been acting like a fake tough guy his whole life. So I think
Not for nothing, Bacon,
I
but
think he's been doing well acting his whole life.
the number 13 is pretty bad. Pretty badass, Bacon.
Dude, it's like saying that I embrace being unlucky. You know what I mean? Because I'm just that tough. I'm just that tough. I can afford to be unlucky because I'm a tough guy. FTW. Because no, I don't want to actually smell it out.
This is count the Taz. Count the Tazes. How many Tazes? Was it 13? We'll never know.
Hashtag count the Taz.
Oh no.
All right. Enjoy your day, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Wrestling tonight. Everything is bigger than life, life. Wrestling tonight. Rock and roll and wrestling. Wrestling Tonight.